Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Cancer. So Cancer, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So, the message for you, Cancer, is hear closely, as in hear with your ears. Hear closely because the message that is coming in here is extremely subtle, but also very, very powerful. And I feel like it has to do with a remembrance, something that you have heard that may have, awakened you or showed you a path to connect with the divine, to connect spiritually with source, with your higher self, with your higher consciousness, with your intuition, that maybe you have forgotten about that. And now it's the time to remember, because I feel like this is like this motion backwards so that you can gain momentum to launch yourself forward to this new beginning that promises to be incredibly fulfilling, but also it's all around like very, very good and incredible. Just a second. Okay, sorry about that, Cancer. Something really, really interesting just happened, and I thought I heard like this very loud noise that usually passes by, once or twice a day, here right by my door. Um, so, and it wasn't. So I feel like that's embedded here in your message. It's like really like tune in your ears, like tune in your ability to listen, because when you hear, like, it's almost like stop everything else, like shut every bit of noise that is surrounding you, like, and listen closely, because there's something that you need to hear that is here, that is, surrounding you, that wants to be in communication with you. The High Priestess is beginning your reading today. And it's interesting because there's so much in this card for you today. And I feel like it has to do with the significance of this message that might be coming in a very subtle way. But like once you tune in, it's going to be very, very clear, because you've heard it before. The Six of Cups is just talking about remember how it's like it's the art of listening, right? It's like you have attuned to that before. It's like you know the way, you know how to connect with your higher self, you know how to tune in to your intuition. So it's like listen closely to that. Hear this here and now moment, right? And before I go to the Six of Cups, I want to stay here just for a few more seconds, because there are a few things here in this High Priestess card that is talking about like how you are actually, getting closer and closer and closer to something, to hearing something that it's going to be like this breakthrough, right? Because I often say that this arrow, right, which there is also another arrow here. Sorry about the noise. There is another arrow here, and this is this launch moment. This is the moment that you release yourself, or that you take a risk, right? That you are in motion. But here, like, this breakthrough happens first, and this is coming. It's almost like I'm seeing like this very like significant secret that is, hiding in the bottom of the ocean, is finally coming to the surface. So when it does, it creates like this rippling effect that in turn is approximating, like it's bringing closer and closer and closer to ears. You see here how this shape and then this shape, it's almost like two ears that are mirroring each other. It's like they are close enough, because it's like when this connection is made, when this breakthrough happens, it's like this is going to open up your ear, but it's also going to open up the ear to the other being that you're in communication with. So it's not that you are the only one capable of hearing, but they are also going to be able to hear you back. So it's interesting because here it's just about hearing, right? Being able to listen and to really like absorb the very subtle information coming from the high priestess because of this connection, because of this breakthrough. But the thing about this high priestess is that something that I've never seen with this card, it was actually showing me the letter H, which to me personally has a significance that it's almost like, those personal symbols that, to everybody else, it has completely different meanings, but then for you, it has a specific meaning. And so for me, this letter H is connected to the remembrance, right? So for me, it's almost like the moment that I first became aware of a specific thing in my life, it's like the moment that my awareness, my consciousness, my connection to this high priestess, to this divine intelligence and cosmic understanding of reality, right? It's like when that opened up for me, it's like it was a moment when this H letter became very significant. So one thing is related to another, but that was in the past. And it's almost like I forgot about that, right? I haven't even like thought about the relevance of that. But here it is, the high priestess, it's like screaming, that is the breakthrough. Like, remember that. And, it doesn't have to be the letter H for you. It just needs to be something that is significantly important, that if you go back in time, you can pinpoint that moment as like this breakthrough moment where it's like something from the depths of your unconsciousness, like, was revealed to you and you became like in tune with your intuition in a much more, well, deeper way, right? So it seems like remembering that right now is very, very important, because this Six of Cups is being followed by two aces, but I want to go one by one because I feel like both of them are not just talking about very crucial new beginnings. Following the traditional meaning of the aces, of course, they are implying the new beginnings. But the thing about this Ace of Wands, because yes, it's typically associated with the fire element, but because of the imagery, for me, this card talks about the strength of a tree. So it is connected more to the earth realm instead of the fire element. And, if we think of, maybe it's just because I had seen a few clips here and there on the news about the fires in the Amazon forest. So maybe this is why I'm talking about like how one card can represent both, because both of them are intertwined, but not in a very pleasant way, not in a way that brings you hope for a new beginning, right? It's almost like the opposite. So how weird is that? So I have no idea really how that really relates to the message here, but what I was seeing with the Ace of Wands is that there is groundedness and the remembrance that this high priestess is guiding you towards is the root of how you have become like this very like independent, strong human being, right? Because that's the other thing about this Ace of Wands being a tree. It's not just any tree, right? It's like this very strong, very ancient, very established, like old tree. So it's not a tree that it's like it's just starting to become a tree, right? It's like it's just sprouting or something like that. It's a fully grown tree, which is where you are. But at the same time, so, if one would think of an old tree, it's like it's coming to the end of its life instead of the beginning, right? But I've seen this in a couple of readings already before. I can't remember which, but the message that once this fully grown tree is fruiting, right, is bearing fruit, like the fruit itself is the new beginning because it contains the seeds that are going to provide this perpetual, long lasting life for the tree, right? So maybe there is something in there that is related to the seed, right? Because that's the new beginning. But it's not as simple as that. I wish it was. It's more like the remembrance is really taking you to the roots of where you are, or this very incredible wise tree that you've become, and how going to the bottom of it, going to the depths, right? It's like there's something that is coming from the depths to the surface, that you are having this huge epiphany coming from the high priestess. But then it takes you back to the roots, right? Because the roots are, it's like they are placed in a specific position that is giving you this strength, this current sense of like knowing who you are, right? This is how I'm picking up this Ace of Wands. Maybe knowing who you are to, again, like, you know, to control the fire in you, right? It's like to not let the fire burn down this tree that you have grown to be. I don't know if that makes sense. But the thing about the next ace, which is also part of the remembrance, is that this is this flying arrow. And this is the moment that you need to shoot your arrow. Because this was talking about like being on the ground, being on the air. So yes, the fire element is typically associated with the wand suit, but it's like you're in control of your anger, of your rage, of your impatience, of everything that could be detrimental to the well-being of your earthly body, your emotional body. But there's something that, you know, being in this very, it's like in this perfect spot really to start something new after you have grown to such a level of integrity, which is something also that has been coming up. It's like you're ready to launch, you're ready to fly, you're ready to it's kind of like you need to go to the roots, not to uproot the tree, because the tree is still there, but it's almost like to climb up the tree to the highest branch, and then from there it's like, you know, just launch your arrow, launch your idea. It's like send out this signal. If we're talking about like, maybe it's not, okay, yes, it's about launching something. Yes, I'm seeing this arrow like being shot in the air. It's like it is flying in the air. But from the point of view, or not the point of view, the it's like the most advantageous point, right? It's like the most strategic point that can be beneficial to you, so that you can have this highest, or like this longest range, so that it can fly really high. But the thing about this connection, right, the two ears being so close that it's like you don't need to scream to reach to them, right? It's like you could like send your telepathic signals that it would reach them, that it would reach the other side, right? Sometimes I also see like this arrow in the middle as like the veil, and it's like you've come so close to the veil that it's like the other side is also there just waiting for you to say something. And you know, because the this suit, the arrow, the sword suit is connected to the air element, and we're talking about being on air after, you know, maybe it's talking about like actually being on air, like airing something, you know what I mean? Like being like publicly like saying something, I don't know. But it's like it's connected to speaking instead of just listening, right? And here is what I was seeing as like this moment of change. Maybe this is why the two aces wanted to come, because it's like if you were represented just by this Ace of Wands, it's like you would still be very anchored, whereas this is a lot more like loose and untethered. Like it's not bound by anything, but it's you, right? It's you. It's like from here you are launching this, you are sending the signal, you are telepathically communicating, you are like connecting to the high priestess that's just on the other side saying, I'm here. That's the thing. It's like, that's the message, right? I'm here. Because when you say that, it's almost like it's like you're going to be understood as if, like, you know, your hearing devices are ready, right? So it's like you are going to be able to pick up more, like the frequency is being tuned in. So the moment that you launch, so that's the thing that I was going to say, that I was you know, trying to understand really what is the motion, right? Because the same time that I see this arrow flying in the air coming from the top of this tree, because you have placed yourself like in such a safe position, right? In control of your maybe denser emotions, right? All of the fire that, you know, burns in you that could, you know, bring down the tree. But it's almost like you were feeding this tree with light instead of the fire, right? That could just bring it down. So it's like you were bringing the light, but like keeping it like growing and growing, so that now it's like you are in a position that gives you the advantage to send out this message. But the thing about this, like the way that you position yourself on top of the tree is like, just by being there, it's like you are becoming the antenna, right? It's like, because you don't have to say anything. This is what the high priestess is talking about. It's like you don't have to necessarily say anything. You don't have to scream to the top of your lungs, or, you know, go to the top of the mountain to say something. It's like you can, like, wherever you are, like in the fullest integrity of your being, like who you've come to be, like go to that highest point of view that you have in yourself, and from there, like, be the antenna, like send the signal by saying, I'm here, right? I'm here and ready to hear you, right? That is so amazing. Because, okay, so the thing about the Six of Cups that I didn't stress that enough, it's like, because you've done that, maybe you've been rehearsing, you know, like, how high can I go up this tree to send the signal? And maybe you weren't in a very advantageous position until now, but now you are, because this tree is very stable. It's not like under threat of being burned down, right? So more fire, right? The Six of Wands. But despite this being more and more fire, which could be, you know, all of the flames here like ignited and, you know, sparking all of this excitement, it's like the successful signal that your message was heard. Not only you were stating to the universe, to the divine, to consciousness, to your higher self, that you are ready to hear. It's like the way that they respond is like it's by lighting you up. It's almost like it's igniting all of you to give you like a similar sensation as the one that you have already received in the past. It's different because this one is embedded in the water realm. So maybe, so, you know, okay, so that's the thing. That's the thing. When you emit any sound on air, right? It's like we can hear. If you do so underwater, it's really hard to hear, because as human beings, we haven't developed, you know, the same skills as, you know, whales or dolphins or, you know, fish that, you know, have that ability, like that song, right? That, you know, travels through the water. So maybe here in the past, you couldn't really communicate. Yes, you were close, or you were getting closer and closer and closer, because, you know, this intelligence, or this, it's like this point of transmission was coming from the depths of you, but it was traveling, you know, or has been traveling a long way through the waters to get to a point where now, because you have reached this level of like a great point of advantage, right? It's like you can now send this message on air. That's so strange. I hope that makes sense. But the Six of Wands is a victory, right? Is success. It's like mission accomplished. It's like whatever perhaps you were kind of like wary that it wouldn't work because in the past, it's like, why would you forget this? If this is so important, why would you forget this? Right? But now you're remembering because it was in a different realm. It wasn't a different element. So the message couldn't travel as like objectively or as fast or as clearly, right? Or as accurately, but now it can, and now it's like it's flying so high that it's almost like going to be like way beyond your expectation. It's like the response is going to be a lot more victorious, right? A lot more it's like you're not going to mistake this. It's like you're not going to miss the answer. You're not going to not hear it, right? Because you're ready to hear it. It's like you're so here in this now moment that you are going to hear it, that your ears are tuned in to this frequency and you're like right there, right? So look at this, Cancer. I don't even know where to begin. The Magician and the Sun. It's like, I'm speechless, right? Because I feel like that's like way beyond any sort of expectation whatsoever. And it's like, maybe you are speechless. Maybe after being, so silent, so quiet, to tune in to your hearing, it's like you're just going to stay there receiving all of the goodness, all of the magic. But apart from, the first moment of complete astonishment or surprise or, happiness, I feel like you're going to be delighted and you're going to be grateful because you're not going to be like that false, humble person that says, oh, it wasn't me. No. It's like you're going to be like, wow. Back then, I had no clue that this was this, right? That this, the first sign of whatever connection with the divine, the first insight, the first intuitive nudge that you received is like, was going to become this, like manifest in such a beautiful, gorgeous, illuminating way. So you're going to receive everything that is, coming your way with respect, but also with gratitude, right? So it might be a little bit overwhelming, but overwhelming in a good sense, not in a sense that is going to scare you or it's going to make you depleted or confuse you or anything like that. It's just going to be like, wow. Speechless, but like, I'm ready, right? So it's not just that. There are more things to the Magician and the Sun. The Magician actually flew to the other side from the deck when I was shuffling. And, the behavior, in a sense, of this Magician reminded me of something that showed up in a reading a while ago, where the Magician came up too soon. It was like, I have no idea which sign was it for, but it's similar to what I'm seeing for you today, Cancer. It's like, maybe the victory is coming sooner than you expected, right? Maybe it's like you sending out this call, sending out this signal, or just, stating to the universe that you're ready, that you're here to hear them out. It's like, the response is coming quicker just because you're closer, right? So it's like, it doesn't need to travel through the waters where it's slower, right? It's traveling through air, which everything is quicker and quicker and quicker. So the response, the manifestation is coming in like boom, right? Right there. The magic is right on your doorstep. It's happening very fast. And it's interesting because the Sun was almost like this confirmation that, if before this moment things were slow to manifest in your life, or maybe you found you found it hard to see the magic, right? Or to trust in your intuition, it's like now it's clear that you don't need to doubt this incredible manifestation that is coming. It's like you don't have to question yourself whether or not this is the right timing, because it's like this is the dawn of the new day for you, right? With the 2 aces. It's the same thing here, but it's okay. So what I heard right now is like this is an all-around success, right? So there is not like one angle that you can look at this and think something went wrong. It's like every single side of it, every single angle that you look at this manifestation, at this connection, this response, it's like is successful, is a sign that you have connected, right? You have broken through. It's like this is a major breakthrough. So wow, I don't know what else to say, Cancer. I am going to pull more cards for you, at least the cards they can say for me, because sometimes I don't know. If it wasn't here, if I wasn't, if I wasn't hearing and seeing the cards, I don't know, I would doubt it myself, right? But you're not doubting. Like, this is wonderful. Okay, so I am going to pull more cards for you to see what else is in store for you. And I'm also going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.